Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second iteration, second episode of Bushido Code in Gaming. My name is Reno Place TV, and we are going to talk about neuroplasticity. So, this is a comment that one of our members, so he's also on Discord, on our Discord server. So if you would like to join us, we are a very tight knit community who really likes to talk about deep philosophical themes, and we share a lot of fun stuff as well. And I just had yesterday just deep talks with two of my members while being live. That was really awesome. And Ankh Casual Gamer here is also he's very active also on the server, and he's giving us a lot of inputs also already. And he has left a comment on our last video, Bushido Code in Gaming, our podcast episode. And I just wanted to share with you. I also asked for his permission, and he said he'd be honored. So I'm honored as well. And he mentioned that I appreciate your work. I'm no scientist, but from what I've been reading, you're touching on neuroplasticity, the tendency of one's mind to treat simulations as reality. So also neuroplasticity, the idea is, of course, the movement in your brain, so to speak. So how your brain can create new ways to use your brains, just like muscles. Basically, if you train something new, for example, a new hobby, a new movement, dancing is, by the way, very very great for neuroplasticity. Um, then it promotes you being more active and being more in the moment, basically. So um what I know, it's not that much. I'm not neuroscience as well, neuroscientist as well. It is something that can be triggered by being in the moment, but the neuroplasticity happens when you are actually sleeping, so when you're actually um regenerating. So that's where like the road to Rome, so to speak, is being built. But maybe there is some people who know more about this topic. I would be definitely very much interested in learning how our brain actually works. I only know the like my angle is, of course, the Bushido Code, and my Bushido Code is very much in tune with the movement, because that's where I come from. That's where that's my um expertise, so to speak. I really love the way it cars into our life movement. I mean, I'm speaking about movement, how it's possible to make such a profound different experience when you are actually dealing with movement itself. So movement itself, we're moving every day in our life, but not many people are moving consciously, super consciously, deeply consciously. And this is what we also talked about yesterday. I was trying to convey the idea why it's very important to me, and also why it was so profoundly different, like not different, but like profoundly a transcendent experience for me, what movements can do. And one of my viewers, level of detail, so we call him Deets. He's also on the server, by the way. So if you want to join us, please join us on the Discord server. He mentioned that uh, he mentioned Kundalini, and I said to him, yes, Kundalini is great, but Kundalini is like level 5 of the depth that I know, and it goes until level 10. So that was like I actually um I actually just invented that on the spot, like the level system. But that's how I perceive the depth that I went through with the movement experience that I had until now. So I told him also the story about like what is it exactly that like um made me realize that there is so much depth. So when I started, this is a little bit of background story. So when I started to dance, which is contemporary dance, when I started to study contemporary dance pedagogy, and to be very specific, in Vienna, it was an experience that actually got me into the depth of life itself. That was the very start. And until then, I only knew dancing from being cool, right? So I started to do like when I was a teenager, I started to dance hip hop, and that was like my thing. And not it was just until I started to study that I realized that there is like an immense depth to dancing, to body work, to awareness, to consciousness. And that's where my journey started basically. And all my life I've been, no, not all my life, I haven't been dancing as a baby. Maybe I was, but not professionally at least. So all my professional life I was a dancer and an artist and a choreographer and just survival artist, surviving artist. And it taught me many different things about psychology, about your body, your spirituality. I'm saying spirituality because I'm not, I always say I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. Um, and in science, I believe in science. I believe in many different things that are actually interconnected. So, and before I blow up these topics, I'm gonna go back into my story again. So all my life, I've been working as a professional contemporary dancer, and the energy of that contemporary dance was almost always like yin energy. So if you're familiar with the yin energy, it's like you could say the female energy, which is not a straight from A to B point, like the male energy. I'm talking right now. I'm talking about the the nature of the duality in the yin and yang philosophy. So, and yin energy is like a dream. It has an A point, but it doesn't necessarily go straight to B. It goes like to A, and then AC, and then AB, and then AD, and then maybe ADB, and then DB, and then someone B, right? So that's like how the yin energy kind of works. It's like everywhere at the same time, but not very like a straight line. And that's how I felt basically starting out with contemporary dance. And I felt that there is always something missing. So there is like a puzzle, just one puzzle that was kind of missing. And then I started to discover boxing, and there was like complete opposite of what I felt what contemporary dance was. There was like A to B, B to C, C to A. So it's like super like the most efficient way to get from one movement to the other. It sounds very strict and it sounds very mm, confining, but it's not. So there is freedom in structure. And I felt like these two couldn't be more different, like the expression. And it was great. It was great to have the different kind of expression possibilities in my body, right? So I have like the yin, which is like far, like in the more creative area, and then you have the boxing, which is far more into the efficiency area, and everything in between. I could like find out and explore, be curious about the movements, and I could just combine those two. Now there was like a, I would say, a great step to find out about my artistic journey. But then there was still something missing. There was still one puzzle, like the perfect puzzle missing. and and just like like a spoiler alert, I found it, right? So, and it was just the perfect mixture, like the line in between yin and yang, just the middle line. That's what I found basically, and it was just like the perfect merge of those two ideas um and expression that was taught by a master basically, and he did combine the Russian martial arts with contemporary dance. And there was just like I felt home right away. There was exactly the thing that I was looking for. So and that's how I basically found out how I started out with that, and there was like the depth, the most in-depth thing that I found. And everything that I did with dancing was always transcending time, space, and the mundane things can become suddenly very spiritual. So, and with spiritual, I don't mean like so when I say spiritual is like I believe in higher power. And for example, just a simple, it's very complex, but the simplest higher power that is kind of tangible for me is gravity. And being one with gravity, like that last puzzle that I was looking for, is being completely one with gravity. And gravity, it's it's so natural, it flows through us every day so naturally that we sometimes don't even perceive that it is flowing through us. But if you can perceive that um, consciously, that is the game changer. That is it's insane. That's what I would say. Yeah, this is level 10. I just wanted to say the S word, but this is level 10. Freaking awesome thing, right? So just to come back a little bit to neuroplasticity, that this is definitely worth checking out, or I think this is what many people um, refers as the flow state. And the flow state, there are different ways to achieve that, and this is something that you can achieve with like you switch it on and you're there immediately. Like maybe not in your mind, maybe not in your spirit yet, but physically you can switch it on and you are there immediately. It's like a I always say to my students, I always said this is the physical gateway to flow. If you can master this, you are there within milliseconds. You can switch it up and you're there. So yesterday I also tried to explain this to Deets, level of details. One of our, I repeat myself, but I'm saying anyway, one of our one of our members on Discord. I'm saying this because I want you to join. Please join us on Discord server. It's fun. I tell you, like this is really something that I really love to create and cultivate. Um, so level of deed said. No, well, I was trying to explain like this phenomenon, like this feeling, and the nature of flow is that the things are happening because you are just letting it happen, just the way like nature would just make things happen. So I had this analogy or just like this picture in my mind, and I tried to convey it to him. When you observe water becoming another aggregate state, the water, for example, you boil water, the water doesn't think about, okay, when do I become gas now? is it now or is it now? It just does. So that's like the state that you're trying to achieve with with the physical gateway to flow. Because most of the time, and I'm including myself here, I'm always reminding myself, most of the time you live in the past or in the future. And the most difficult thing that you can do is bring yourself into the moment. And then when you are in the moment, the most difficult thing is to keep yourself in the moment. So like having the focus so long that you are actually longer in that moment. And this is what we or what I was trying to teach the physical gateway to flow to my students, so that they can be one with gravity on stage. So these were actors and actresses, and there is also a coloration about like being on stage and what it means to be on with flow, and then just the flow state. And this is a very great thing about neuroplasticity, that you can actually trigger it so easily, in a sense. I'm this is an air quote. I'm doing an air quote for the people who don't see the video. It's easy to achieve, but very hard to master. So yeah, most of the time when I start to teach this, the people who try it for the first time just do it intuitively right. As soon as the head, the brain, the logical mind tries to understand it and grasp it, it gets progressively more difficult. But then at certain point, you understood it so much that that logical mind learns itself that it needs to it needs just to let it go of everything that you have learned in the past, I don't know, week or 2 weeks or months or years. It never ends, basically, to let it go in order to be in the moment again. So that's why the beginner's mind is very not difficult, very important. And it's also like in the Bushido code, it always says about how you should keep yourself not attached to the idea that you are now more wise. Because if now this is where the thing comes in again, that I really would like to tell my students, is when you think you are in the moment, then you are already one step too late. So the the physical gateway to flow can only be achieved when you are actually experiencing it. When you think that you're experiencing it, you are already one step too late. So that's what it means. And this could sound everything very cool, but when you feel it, it's so actually so natural that there is like a like a it's a aha moment, but it's like a with a question mark. But then if you know what you're doing, then it is actually the most healing thing that you actually can do. Yeah. So also, what's so important to tell is, because I also talked about this with Deets yesterday, is there is this story about a teacher holding up a glass of water, asking the students how heavy that glass of water is, and the students to start to say numbers, that what they think, that how heavy that glass, including the water, is. And the teacher just say, yeah, probably somebody was right here with the answer, but the true answer is, it depends how long I am holding it. So over time, that number, what the student said, will increase over time. So it becomes heavier and heavier and heavier. We are not designed to carry something for a very, very long time. We can endure long time investment of energies, but we have to recover as well. So what is very important about this lesson is that is exactly how our emotional being uh, is actually working as well. Imagine carrying something within you which maybe began as a very simple and light thing, but over time you actually forgot to let it go. And it manifests into the muscles because muscles have memories. Like we have an intricate, beautiful, and like the most intelligent um, body that the vessel that we actually have. But if you don't know how to treat that tool, it's more than a tool. Okay, the body is more than a tool, but I think vessel is the right word. If you don't know how to deal with that vessel over time, you're gonna make it malfunction, aka sick. So why I'm telling this is because that being in the moment, in the flow state, is actually the metaphorical putting the glass down and let everything melt to the floor and let it go so that the body can recover. And there is a spoiler. Most of the people, and it is a spoiler, but it is a life, almost like it feels like a lifelong lesson, or like a journey, or like a exercise. The most of the tensions people carry are shoulders, upper shoulders, or the shoulder plates, and hips, because around the hips there are like the most biggest muscle mass that there is, and those are most of the time a little bit um, not so easy to let go. So yeah, that's there was a quite a long thing about neuroplasticity, but I could just include everything that I know into this because it's for me um, very important to tell, because that's what I'm all about, and the philosophy, of course, behind it. The tendency of one's minds to treat simulations as reality is, it's true. I think our body cannot really um, distinguish between, is it a simulated reality or is it reality? The body just reacts, and being aware of that can definitely make a difference in how the body um, keep scores. So, but I'm saying keep score because Deeds, which is funny because the Sons, also one of, okay, she's very very close to me, and the greatest supporter that I ever have had in my life. She also talked about that book, how the body keeps scores, and yeah, so that was kind of a funny coincidence. People can say it's just a game or it's just a movie, as if it being a game or a movie means that it doesn't have the ability to alter your mental and physical state of being, which is exactly what I said right now, because I think it's very true. The body cannot distinguish between simulated reality or reality itself. I mean, we have to ask the question as well, like what is reality, right? What is this the real life? Um, because what about dreams that we dream? Are those is this also reality? Some dreams feel really real, and what is that then? So it's like there's like a big question about reality. What is reality? Understanding that reality and simulation aren't all that different to your brain is important for personal growth. Yes, that is true. Yeah, personal growth means differently for everybody, but most of the time it's about awareness. Most of the time it's about expanding your consciousness, having understanding about things that you may not have thought about, or being aware of every little movement that you do. So this is also like something that you learn in dancing, because that's the power of your expression of what is within. So yeah, you can also feel that on stage. You know that if someone is in the now or not. You know if someone is authentic or not. You just feel it, even if you don't know. much about like how theater or like dance pieces work. Doesn't matter. You will feel it anyway. Something to also consider is what you're actually simulating. What are you actually simulating to enjoy simulating a felon GTA, for example, or a traitor to the human race, a rat in Arcadus, says more about people than they're willing to admit, so they'll downplay it as hard as they can to maintain an illusion. So I agree with this, um, probably like 50%, because I also try to keep still a benefit of the doubt of the people, because um, I do it sometimes too on GTA. I just did it. And Arc Raiders, I also was being a rat sometimes, because it was easier, right? So um, it's just the fact that I am also definitely like capable of this. I think what comes to my mind is um, it boils down probably on how much you're doing what. So there are some things that you shouldn't do. Like there is a hard line, of course. Like for example, taking another life, like in real life, like in IRL, which is there is a hard line. There is a law built around it too. So that's of course something that you should like keep in mind and consider to be considerate, right? But in a simulation, maybe it can be some sort of exposure therapy to be a felon, what it means to like loosen up a little bit your moral rigidity, so to have fun, like some things are meant to shake up and just um just experience it, but there's always a but. The 50% that I'm agreeing here with is because um you need to be aware of the consequences of your own actions. If you are not, then you are actually just having fun for yourself with someone else's sacrifice, which is um, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is a little bit too much to ask for, because nothing is should be taken for granted in life. Everything has consequences. Even the things that you think about are very much innocent, innocuous. I learned this word actually, a new one. Thanks, Sonia. Innocuous things could have big impacts more than you think. Keep up the great work, he says. I'm looking forward for more. Hope to see you topside. And I asked him after this, hey, do you mind using your comment for the next video? And he is also very active now on my Discord channel. So that's where we're at right now. So thank you again very much for your awesome comment. I wanted to make a video about this comment like right away. And here I am, rock you like a hurricane. So that's it for this episode. If you have any questions about Bushido Code, about movement, about mindfulness, about self-improvement, about self-embodiment, what that means, what is self-embodiment, I will do a video about this for sure. Just join our Discord. You can ask the question. There's like a channel specifically for questions and answers. You can just ask it there, and I hope to see you soon. Please join us also live, on YouTube, on Twitch. If you see the live button lighting up, it's almost always in the evening from 8 p.m. That's Central European time, +1, so that's like Viennese time, Austrian time. And if you see that lighting up red, then join us. Come join us. Ask questions. See the other videos about Bushido Code. And just be part of our community. I would love to have you, and that would be very, very awesome. So thank you for joining us here in the first video. If you have any comments, or just comment it down below, and I might use it for the next video, if if you're okay with that. I will ask you first. So thank you very much for listening. I will change to our outro song, which I also play on every live, and end up with that. And I'll see you all in the next episode of Bushido Code in Gaming. All right, Reno Plays TV out.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.